Ashley Adamson-Edwards, 16.1 Roles, Responsibilities and Skills of a Coach. In coaching, the role of a trainer is extremely important in any sport due to the qualities that they have. For example, a trainer helps develop a technique, uses training programs to increase the chance of better results. Also, they take the charge of the situation by taking the necessary precautions an athlete or player needs without hesitating. They also carry out tests to monitor progress and see what needs to be improved. A good trainer is highly qualified and experienced because they take their position seriously. The role of a trainer provides many advantages. For example, a trainer improves the technique of a player because of the experience or qualification that they constantly add to the fact that they are reinforcing their methods. This could potentially achieve better results from the player and therefore would boost the coach's representation and create a positive mindset for the both of them. This could relate to a trainer like Steve Kerr in the NBA, who would also be constantly reinforcing his methods and therefore hopefully improving technique. However, due to the experience most of the players who play for Steve Kerr have at such a high level, there probably isn't a lot of room for improvement in technique and would be based more on improving tactics. But at a lower level of sport, like the under-12 football coach, being a trainer and improving technique would come into play a lot more often because of the perhaps low skill level that the players have. Also, the role of the trainer could cause a coach or player to achieve more goals quicker than what they would without each other. This is because the trainer influences the player in the sporting world would be taking charge and introducing training programs and fitness tests to monitor progress and see clearly what needs improving. An example of this would be a tennis coach at professional level where when a player achieves a goal that was set by the coach due to the traits of the trainer. In addition, a trainer helps reduce the chance of injury as they are a model to a correct technique and to monitor who they are coaching. This therefore helps to keep the player fit and prepared correctly for matches or events. But if the player or athlete was training without a trainer, then they could be spending so much time with something that is increasing the risk of injury. Whereas due to the trainer's experience, the chance of injury would be reduced. For example, an individual sport like coaching in boxing, a boxing coach like Robert Crackham would reduce the chance of Anthony Joshua's getting an injury because of the high level of experience and knowledge in the sport. Also, in a sport like boxing, usually any coach would have more time to monitor and prevent injury risk because they are only training one person, so therefore getting more time to train them. However, in a team sport like handball, a coach being a trainer might not be able to put this advantage to as much use due to the fact that there are many people to train, and therefore a team sport needs to spread out the amount of attention they give to prevent injury. Finally, the role of a trainer in coaching also allows productivity between the player or athlete and coach due to the training programs. Due to training programs, varying out tests and other things that a trainer would introduce to the player's life to maintain productivity. This would be more put into a place in an individual sport like 100-metre sprinting, where someone like Glenn Mills would always be focused on trying to get the most out of preparing for an event, and wouldn't let any room for things that won't be trying to improve Usain Bolt's technique. This would be an advantage as the trainer helps to maintain a consistent work rate. However, the role of a trainer does bring some disadvantages. For example, sometimes a trainer might not use innovation in their training methods, and therefore training drills could become boring for a player or athlete, and because they are repeated on a constant basis with no change. This is a disadvantage because it could put someone off the sport due to the lack of enjoyment and the fact that they might not be taking part in new strategies that would benefit them. This could relate to a lower level of team sport like Sunday League football, where because of the perhaps lack of qualifications and experience, they are unaware of how to keep players not to board. Also, the role of a trainer can be badly affected by cost. This is because in today's society, the facilities and equipment required for a player to be trained is extremely expensive. This could cause anxiety on the coach as they are constantly pressured into perhaps spending their own money to train the player or athlete. For example, in tennis, a coach as a trainer would have to hire out a court, provide rackets for players, pay insurance for players, and in case of injuries, and many other equipment required. Without these essential things, it would be very difficult for a trainer to be able to be as effective as possible. This shows in today's society that even if someone has the skill and motivation to be a trainer, if they don't have the money, then their ambition isn't possible. Whereas if you have the funds coming into coaching society, you could easily start setting up a reliable and safe training sessions. In addition, and finally, the role of a trainer in coaching can cause conflict or unreliability in a trainer if they aren't focusing on all aspects of training. For example, in netball, a coach needs to train the whole team in order to improve their ability. However, some trainers could only be focusing on training drills to do with the goal attack because of the perhaps stereotypical view of them scoring the points and therefore them being more important. But as they are not training other positions in the team, there would be little sign of improvement in other positions and could cause conflict between coach and other players in the positions that aren't being trained.